All right, the 4 most common mistakes that I see with beginners. Number 1 is getting too square to the target. With boxing, we want to be rotating with those power punches, with the cross, with the hook, with the uppercuts, with the body shots. Those power punches require a lot of rotation, right? Now imagine if a baseball player was on the mound and he was trying to throw a pitch from a square position right here. It's impossible to generate force and speed and power. So you see a pitcher, they're completely side on like this, then they can really whip and rotate through that shot. Or through that pitch. Same with the batting side too. They're side on, then they can rotate through the power. Exactly the same principle applies to boxing. If I'm square like this, I can't rotate my core or my hips or generate power through the lower body that way. So we've got to be kind of side on like this. Now obviously we don't want to be baseball style where we're completely side on, because then if we try and throw a punch right here, then we're easily off balance. So kind of like that quarter side on right here. Left shoulder is always forward, facing the target. Common mistake I see with beginners, they start to kind of peel that front shoulder back because they feel like they need to get power in that jab. So they'll start off like this, then as the session goes on, we get more and more like this, and the shoulders will end up square. Sometimes the hips will be pretty side on, but the shoulders get peeled back and end up throwing the punches like this. And again, there's no rotation through the shoulders. The shoulders, the hips, the feet, everything is one unit. It's all got to go together. So if we concentrate as a beginner, if you're a beginner boxer and you want to get better at rotating through your punches and develop more power, then think about keeping that lead shoulder facing your target the whole time and your back shoulder back and away from you. Then you can whip it through with your punches and whip that front shoulder through with your hooks. So think about shoulders side on, hips side on, feet side on. That way we can rotate. The minute that you get this going on, that rotation's gone, power's not happening. So just watch out for getting too square. The other thing as well, if we apply that to boxing, if I was boxing against Mark right here, if I'm side on right here, I can create traffic, so it's harder for his punches to get through. The minute that I'm kind of square, even if my feet are in a good position but my body's square, I'm a huge target. It's easy for him to hit that. I might as well be a punching bag, right? Side on right here, my target, the target he's got to hit is a lot narrower, and I can get that traffic in front there, it's harder for him to get those punches through. So just always avoid getting the shoulders square and getting in too square of a position. That's the common mistake I see with a lot of people new to boxing. Second one is a footwork issue. So we tend to see people get comfortable with the movement, and they'll move the front foot first correctly like this, right? And they'll move the back foot first going backwards like this. So the footwork movement isn't too bad. But what they'll tend to get into the habit of is landing on the heel on the front foot. And we'll see this. Heel to toe, bring it up. Heel to toe, bring it up. Now the last thing we want to do in boxing is be on that heel, right? Now the whole foot can be on the floor, but the weight should be right here in the ball of the foot. We're on the toes all the time, on the balls of the feet. That's where the weight should be. We've got to grip that floor, then we've got the power in the feet. So whenever you're coming forwards, try and avoid landing that heel first. The minute that that heel lands, right, and the weight's in that heel, I can't get out from there and push off back. It's harder. It's going to stop you from doing what you want to do with your feet. You should be able to do anything and go in any direction at any time you want when you're in your boxing stance. So right here on that front foot, we need to be landing on the ball of the foot, on the ball of the foot coming back. So always on those toes, forward, back, okay? So just watch out for that heel. Common mistake I see with beginners, they get comfortable on that heel and kind of step in it like this. So really stay out of those heels when we're traveling as well. Number 3 is not fully extended on your punches. And most of the time, it's due to doing too much mitt work and not enough shadow boxing. So beginners who kind of get used to heavy bag and mitt work a lot, they'll stand too close on the heavy bag and start lifting the elbows and shortening up their own punches. And then they'll get coaches who kind of do a lot of work for them, and they'll catch their punches right here and shorten up the straight shots by slamming the mitts too far into the gloves. And the 1-2 becomes like half punches where the elbows are flaring as well. That's the last thing we want to do. The whole benefit of that 1-2 or those straight punches is that long arm, the power and the rotation through the body should be right at the end of that fist. That jab is there to create that range, and then when he throws that 2, boom, it's right where the jab was, right? Now he's fully extended, he's fully rotated, the weight's come through, the power that's generated through that rotation is right at the end of the fist. If it's short and the elbow's bent, it's a half punch. or we're going to even fall short. So if you're a coach watching this, when you're catching that 2, make sure your boxer can fully extend that arm, and I'll encourage them to rotate with it by rotating yourself. So go back in, 2, good, through, good, fully extend. You can hear that snap. Now if I shorten that up and I do too much work and meet the punch too much, it shortens up the right hand. 2, and you can hear the difference in the sound, right? Hopefully that's coming through on the camera. The difference in the sound is huge. Now fully extend, punch through, again, again, there. You can hear that pop, right? I'm just standing my ground and just kind of half moving with him and allowing him to drive right through the pad and fully extend the arm. Now think of this as well in terms of how solid that punch is. If you think here, right? Now, don't let me push you off balance, right? So he's got all that weight. There's about 60% weight transferred to that front leg. If I try and push him back, he's in a solid position. He's braced right there, right? Now bend the arm. Here. Noodly, nowhere near as strong, right? So think of that. That force is at the end of the fist. It's a much stronger position. You're way more on balance. The weight's transferred. It's way harder to be pushed off balance from there. With the arm bent, you're not as solid, okay? So think of that. That's another benefit to fully extending that arm. You're engaging that core, the legs, everything, the shoulders behind the punch, and the full force of that rotation is right at the end of the fist. So if you're new to boxing, anytime you're throwing a 1 or a 2, those straight punches, make sure those arms are fully extended. And the way you're going to do that is by giving yourself the correct amount of range when you're punching the heavy bag, and by doing plenty of shadow boxing and really concentrating on long arms every time you throw the straight punches. If you're a coach and you're teaching somebody new to boxing, allow them to fully extend. Please allow them to fully extend on that 1 and that 2 by standing your ground. Don't go start doing the work for them. All right, so before I get to number 4, probably the most common mistake I see with beginners, I just want to remind you, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell notification. That way you're going to get notified of the videos each week. If you have any thoughts and feedback or any other common mistakes that you see in beginners, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to hear what you see as well. All right, so number 4, probably the most common one that we see a lot of with people new to boxing, simply holding the breath, right? Everyone's like, oh, boxing's really hard. And they're making it 10 times harder for themselves than it normally would be by not exhaling with the punches. If he throws 4 straight punches and holds his breath, so hold your breath and throw 4 straight punches. Right? Sounds pretty good. Now if he exhales, and he breathes out on all 4 punches, do it again. Good. That force is coming out. He's allowing with the breath, the force to go into the shots too. So it allows him to get the air out and then breathe again, and then he's fresh to go again, right? If he held his breath for every single punch in a 2-minute round, right, the heart rate's going to skyrocket. It's kind of that feeling of being underwater. You're holding your breath. You've got to come up for air at some point. So it's all about the efficiency. If we're exhaling with every single punch, and a lot of people new to boxing think they've got to kind of tighten up and hold that breath and to get the force, it's actually the complete opposite. As soon as that fist lands, exhale, and then we're right back to relaxing and breathing again, right? So it's an explosive burst with out breath, 1, 2, 1, 2. Nice, and now we're relaxing again. We're not tight. Again, 1, 2, 1, 2. Relaxing and breathing, okay? Now if he holds his breath, hold your breath. The timing's harder. Everything's kind of forced, right? It's inefficient. There's no way we can last a long time if we're doing that. So you're going to die quickly, and you know the heart rate's going to skyrocket. Your session's not going to last very long, and your fitness isn't going to improve. So always, every single punch, exhale. If you need to make a sound, do it. But yeah, exhaling and holding the breath, huge issue we see with beginner boxers. Thanks for watching this video. If you have any feedback, thoughts, comments at all, questions, leave them in the comments below. Anything you see that's not good in beginner boxers, let me know. I'd love to hear about it. Don't forget to hit subscribe on the channel. That way you're going to get notified on the new videos. Thanks for watching this. I'll see you on the next video.